How's it going? I have a website. It's called pointlesstraveler.com, and what we got here is we've got a custom-made solo bivy tent. Okay, so what we got here is we got a Bear Paw custom solo bivy tent. It's got two giant U-doors on it. It's made out of 1 ounce per square yard black Silnylon, and I did that on purpose. Okay, this is per my design. And what I'm finding is that it needs a few little modifications. As you can see, one side of the tent kind of billows out and the other side kind of falls in, and it's gonna need a little bit more work so that I can pull the sides of that A-frame tight. Okay, so here it is. It's about 2 weeks later. I got my tent back from Bear Paw, and there it is. Okay, it's staked out. They added these tie-outs on the sides, and I'm really impressed. I mean, I just want to take a second just to try to say something positive about Bear Paw. You know, I am pretty happy with the results of what I've gotten from this company. This 30D nylon that they sent me for this A-frame, it looks pretty new, like right off the roll. I'm really happy with the doors. The doors have got this cool latch that leaves them open. And their solution to the sides of the A-frame where they put the tie-outs, it's really interesting. You know, these tie-outs have to be pulled at a 45-degree angle, and they give the tent this interesting shape. But yeah, it is pretty interesting. What I found is that, you know, don't be fooled, okay? This tent is only 1 pound. Okay, it's 1 ounce per square yard, 30 denier Silnylon, waterproof and windproof. Having a door on either side helps a lot because that allows the wind to blow through, because this thing is basically a sail, just like on a sailboat, and it catches the wind. So by having a door on both sides, that allows the air to blow through. It cuts way down on condensation. It blows the little rain cloud that develops inside the tent out of the tent, makes it nice and cool and dry inside the tent. But one word of warning is that this is a really minimalistic tent. Okay, a normal tent, which is like freestanding with poles, you know, that go inside the frame that hold the tent up, it doesn't need to be pitched as tight as this. Okay, so this is really like a tarp tent. It has a floor on it. It's one piece, okay, an A-frame with a floor and two sides. But by the time that this thing is pitched out correctly, it's pitched so tight that the ground really needs to be completely flat. You know, because once you get inside the tent, your body will push down on the floor, and that will pull on the corners of the tent and kind of pull the stakes out. So for this tent to work, the ground has got to be really flat. You've also got to have plenty of this soft ground to stake out in. And I want to show you that, you know, these stakes have got to be pulled tight. You can see that this stake right here, it's pulling out. Okay, so the whole idea of like that I'm going to be able to get away with not that much space on the ground and that I can pitch out in a small area, that isn't really true. I mean, I'm going to need ample space in a nice park with plenty of flat ground, or I'm gonna run into some issues, you know. I mean, if I want the tent to be pulled out this good and make it look this nice, I need, you know, the appropriate amount of space. And each time that a stake is put into the ground, the line lock has to be pulled. So the tent has got these line locks at the top, and that's really got to be pulled tight in order for this to work. And it's got to be pulled tight at all of the stakeouts. So you've got 2 stakeouts on the sides and 2 stakeouts at the head and the foot. All 4 of those stakeouts have to be pulled tight, okay? Now, when I get inside the tent, I'm running the risk of pulling those stakes out of the ground. So I'm gonna do a little experiment right here, and I'm gonna pull some of the stakes out and see how the tent stands up with 2 of the stakes missing. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pull 2 of these stakes out, okay? So right here, basically, I've got a stake out on this side at this corner right there, pulled out to the side, and I've got a stake out at that corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this stake and see if the tent falls over or if it stands up. There's nothing inside the tent at all, okay? So let's see if this skeleton of a tent will still stand. So that's what I thought, okay? It will still stand up like that. Now what that does is it gives me some slack. When I get inside the tent, the ground probably isn't going to be completely flat. That's going to pull on the floor, it's going to pull on the corners, and it's going to pull some of those stakes out. If it pulls the wrong stake out, the tent will collapse, okay? So I need to make sure that wherever I get the slack from, wherever the tent is being pulled on, is an area that doesn't cause the tent to fall down. So I'm going to pull the other one out and see what happens there. Okay, so I've got this stake out on this side. Okay, so I've got a stake out there, and I've got a stake out here. I'm going to pull out that one. Okay. What? Okay, these are in there so tight. Okay, by the time I got this thing staked out, the stakes were in there like a superhero stuck them in the ground. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna leave it like that. All right, but you can see that now, okay? So now I'm working with 6 stakes and my tent is still standing, all right? And what that's gonna do is it's gonna prevent the other stakes from being pulled out, and that's totally awesome. So I've got 1 stake over there on the side. I got that triangle on the side. Okay, so I got a triangle there with a huge no-seam door right there. My inflatable air pad will you know, make the space on the ground. Okay, I'll be laying in it. I've got it staked out there. Got it staked out at the corner. Okay. And then same thing on this side. My feet will be you know, my air pad will be stuck into that corner and we'll be pushing that corner of the tent out. Okay, but as far as like me needing extra space inside the tent without causing the stakes to pull out and the tent falling over, I've got it, you know. So there it is. Okay, pretty happy with this design. Ended up looking really cool. Just saw Star Wars recently, and this is like the total Darth Vader tent. And so there it is. It's from Bear Paw. Okay, this is a custom tent. Cost me about 300 bucks, but I'm very happy with it. You know, the MSR Hubba single person tent is about 3 pounds, and this one is about 1 pound. So I shed 2 pounds off of my pack with this thing, and I'm very happy. So there it is. I have a website. It's called pointlesstraveler.com. Please check it out. Thanks a lot.